Hello, everybody. It's your favorite girl, Irene, and you're welcome to True Crime by Irene. So, guys, this is a very heart wrenching incident. A 63 years old lady from Nigeria was murdered by her son in law on the 1st of July 2025 in Sudbury area of Ontario, Canada. This is a very tragic situation. The lady's name was not mentioned, but her daughter Lydia Obiegili is the reason for her coming to Canada. It is said that Lydia's mom came to Canada just a couple of weeks ago to take care of their kids while she and her husband focus on their jobs. However, the mother did not get to live in Canada for a long time before she met with her horrific end. What actually transpired or what actually happened? It is said on this fateful day, Lydia came back from work, and on her way back home, she saw her husband coming out of the house in his work uniform going to work. He immediately turned back and followed Lydia. And when Lydia opened the door, she asked if he wasn't going to work. The husband answered and said he had resigned from his job, guys. And Lydia was shocked because her husband never told her he has resigned, and we all know resignation is not something that just comes abruptly. It's a premeditated thing that over time you put together your points why you don't want to continue to work there. But before Lydia could continue talking to her husband, immediately he entered the house and locked the door, and then he started attacking Lydia with a knife, trying to kill her by stabbing her on her stomach, neck, shoulder, hand, and head multiple times. Lydia was able to escape from the house during the process of struggling to survive. She didn't see or hear from her mom, not knowing that her husband had already stabbed her mom multiple times. Their two children were at the scene and were found unharmed. The Greater Suburban Police arrested the 36 years old man at 11:30 a.m. on July near Adder Street in a wooded area and charged him with first-degree murder and attempted murder, among other offenses. Obiegile Lydia said that she needs help to send her mother's body back home, and a GoFundMe has been raised towards that. And as a matter of fact, this GoFundMe has already met with the required amount, which is such a great thing because in situation like this, you can't do it on your own. You need people to come together to assist. Guys, this is such a sad situation. We all know when we move overseas, it's for greener pasture, especially for our parents and the younger ones of the family to assist them. So I believe Lydia's family case was not different. When she moved to Canada, I could imagine the joy the parents had on their faces, hoping that their daughter is going for greener pastures. Not to talk of when she invited her mother over. Friends, relatives were happy for her. They prayed for her safe trip, and the wish for her safe return. However, she is not going to be able to return back home the way she went. She's going to return in a coffin, which even make the situation much sad. It is such a sad thing that your relative will leave the home for a journey and never return again, or even when they return, they come back in, as a corpse. This is a situation that Lydia's family is facing, and our condolences goes out to her younger brother, her sister, and her dad, who are back in Nigeria waiting for the arrival of her mom's corpse. I have a few light to throw on this. After this news hit the social media, I went through the comment section and I saw a few of Lucky's friends, that is Lydia's husband's friends, trying to say that he was being maltreated in this relationship, and they said that Lydia's mom and Lydia were always a loggerheads with Lucky. They starved him. He was never given food in that house. We were not there to know what actually transpired in their home, but these are some of the comments from the guy's friends, I suppose, and people who were very close to this family. As a matter of fact, we know African couples overseas always have this tension, especially for those of them who just left Africa and went overseas. The life there is not like back home where daddy or the head of the family, who is the husband, goes out to work, and most of the time the women stay home to cater for the house, and the man brings in the money to take care of daily needs and the children's school fees. Overseas, everybody needs to hustle in order to meet up with their expenses, because the standard of living over there is super expensive as compared to Nigeria, Cameroon, Africa entirely. So in this situation, presumably Lydia was the one making most of the money, and I presume the mother was trying to advise her to save for herself, or they were underlooking her husband. That is what I suspect happened, because it is not normal for a man to just want to kill his children's grandmom. This is going to, remain in the history of their family, that their dad took away the life of their grandmother. So I do not believe this guy out of the blue decided to kill his mother-in-law. I think it is something that was ongoing. I believe that they already had tension in this relationship, but with the coming of Lydia's mom to Canada, the situation got worse, because she could probably be taking sides with her own daughter, which is never good. When you get married, your husband is equally a child to your mom. And if there is anything, I believe your mother should try to put both of you together, or your dad, to make sure the issue is solved amicably. However, I believe this was mounted pressure, stress, depression that burst out in this negative altercation. Thank God that Lydia is alive to cater for her kids, because as we all know, Lucky will be serving a very long time in jail. I hope and I wish other couples could learn from this and know that no matter what, even if you earn more than your spouse, remember, you guys are a team. You are not in competition. Your husband and yourself, you make a great team. And it is said that teamwork makes the dream work. When your mother visits you guys, she shouldn't have to know what you earn or what. Like I said, when your mom comes to visit you, she shouldn't have to know how much you earn from what your husband earns, because this could bring about, some
misunderstanding in the relationship. Every mom feels like, oh, I don't want my daughter to be used. I want to protect my daughter. However, they forget that your spouse also is another person's son or daughter, and they also forget to know the negative implication they are bringing into your home. So to be on the safe side, if you are a lady and you're making more money than your husband, it's good to keep quiet. Just let your mom to know that you both are contributing to the well-being of your home. Or even if she insists on knowing your pay package, you don't need to disclose that your husband makes lesser than you, because we know it's always normal if the man makes more than the lady. All this issue brings a lot of controversy in the relationship, and at the end of it all, some mothers are not that good. They're gonna give their daughters bad advices that will result to situations like this, because they said that Lucky was not well treated in that home. Probably the mom of Lydia and Lydia were not respecting him enough. However, Lucky did not have any right to take away Lydia's mom's life. If a relationship is not working out, I would say, and I'll always say this, it's better to walk away and put your life in order. After all, Lucky was just 36. He could quickly start up his life again rather than, killing Lydia's mom and spending the rest of his life in jail. This woman didn't deserve that. No matter what she did, Lucky would have simply walked away out of the relationship. Vengeance is of the Lord, and I do not support the fact that some people try to take the law into their hands. Guys, this memory is gonna last in the life of Lucky's children. It's gonna traumatize them, and they will never forget about their father's, bad decision. Guys, please comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. Until then, see you on my next video, and I hope we all can learn from this situation. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share my video. Thank you, and bye.